late, getting later, I think. Right. Fall over. No. Boom. Busy day today. We're live. Okay guys, welcome back to Robertson Co. Welcome back to London, another live jewelry making session. We're making some more 1mm stacking rings, different size tonight. We need to restock these. Got wiped out at the end of last year, or nearly wiped out. I think I made a lot of them late last year. But yeah, we're slowly working through them. Size E I want to make tonight. So I've got my little sheet here, 46 mil size E. I'm not sure if we need antique ring sizing equipment for that, or we might just about go into the new ones. We'll find out once we've made them. YouTube copyright free music. Right, let's cut some 1mm wire. This is 1mm round wire, round profile that we're using. So just cut the ring blanks, 10 or 20. Form the ring, solder them together, and then we need to size them. That's the plan. Right, let's cut some 46mm lengths. 12 is about all we can fit on solder block, so 12 it is. Just clean up the ends of these. I'll give you a close-up of our ring blanks and we can round them off and solder them together. I was going to say E is not a particularly popular size, but it's the one we've run out of, so it obviously is a particularly popular size. I've kind of given up on that, what is a popular size and what isn't. We sell all of the sizes, but what tends to happen is a particular size becomes popular for a while, which is just odd. So it's not like we generally, you know, in an ideal world, we would have a popular size that we, you know, made little big batches of, like. And I do think it was kind of like that. I seem to remember in the good old days, but possibly it wasn't. But yeah, all of a sudden we'll have a run on size Z or a run on size T, a particular size ring. There we go. There's the blanks for our size E rings. Let's close up the joints, flat half round pliers, and then we'll solder them together. solder. I think I might have enough solder in there. Should have enough. Put the pieces of solder beneath the joint. Some of these solder pieces are a bit too large that I'd already cut. I think I've got enough little bits for these. All that really happens if the bits are too large is you spend a long time cleaning it off afterwards, the excess. There is a bit of a strange phenomenon with these. With the larger the ring size, the slightly the larger piece of solder they seem to require, which is makes not a lot of sense, but because the joint's exactly the same size, regardless of the diameter of the ring. But what I think happens is because the solder is drawn to heat and the heat slightly, I think the solder just disperses slightly more the larger the ring. I think maybe the heat just becomes a little bit more concentrated on the smaller ring, so it balls up around the joint. Maybe on the larger ones it spreads along the length of the ring slightly more. So it just seems to take up slightly more solder. Either that or just because of the size of the ring masks how much excess solder there is. Let's pull those first few out, clean up the excess solder. Right, I might have to pull these out one at a time. So we really need it longer in the pickle. I'll give you a little close up of these post soldering. A little bit of excess solder over the joints, and we'll just clean them up. The way I was doing these in previous live streams, I was doing a batch and letting them clean in the pickle, and then very quickly cleaning off the excess solder with polishing one, which I think I might have to do again. Otherwise we would be here for quite a long time. It's quite a quick process, just whipping off the excess with a polishing mop. Let me just size one while we're waiting for those. The flux needs a little bit longer to clean off on those rings. If I don't clean the flux off, what happens is it's like glass, and there's still a little bit. It's not around the joint luckily, but if you don't get all the flux off in the pickle, when you're sizing it indents into the silver, and then ultimately, because it is like glass, it falls off, and you're just left with the indentation of where it was. It doesn't survive the polishing process. Yeah, you've got to make sure it's all off before you start sizing it. If it's just on the outside, it does have a habit of actually helping crack it off, but if it's on the inside, not so much. Ring stick behind me. E1/2. I quite like them being slightly oversized because sizing them down is better aesthetically. I always size them down in the end anyway, so if they're slight, I usually stretch them slightly up if they're under. Take them down. If the company was run by accountants, they would want me to slightly under them every single time. You're using less metal than the way I actually do it. Right, we're not going to be able to use modern ring stretchers, we're going to have to use antiques. It's from the early 1900s. Still going strong. They're a lot slower though. Especially sizing up. Very rarely use these to size rings up. They need more dies, they never came with enough dies. I need to get another lathe at some point and then I'll make a set of proper dies for it. The only thing is making a set of proper dies for it. What this needs is a set of dies that long. So we'd have to make like a steel post, but it does actually need a full size, like, what is that, 300 mil of brass cut into dies. The size jumps on these are like at least 2 sizes. It needs to be they need to be way less tapered. Slightly big. But this company went out of business. So right, let me give you a close up of that. Not only sizing them down, not only makes them the perfect size, exactly the right size, but sizing them down in that way also flattens them out. If you look at, if you were to put them on the ring stick, even if it was the correct size, once it's soldered together and hammered on the triplet, they're always slightly wavy, slightly wonky. They're never that flat, so that's why I always compress them, regardless. Right, let's get those ones out of the pickle. Hopefully they're clean. These were first 6. What I'm going to do with these is quickly clean off the excess solder on the polishing wheel in the other room. Just use a very fine satin wheel. At some point I'll get a proper live stream set up and switch cameras and all that, but for now you just have to talk amongst yourselves while I do this. One camera. Right, there we go. Boom. The solder joint's cleaned up, just a very fine satin wheel. So let's round these off, triplet, and then in the pinfolds paint and rings dies in the machine. Right, slightly under, stretch it up. Just using an upright ring stretch. I'm not going to use this thing to stretch it up. Problem with stretching up on these, like I say, if I was to stretch it, you can't just stretch a fraction of the size because they get stuck on the dies. So you're kind of committed to go sizes, and then if I reduce it all the way back down. That's done. Just stretch that one up using the upright ring stretcher. It was too close to an E. Again, I'm going to stretch that up. Before I do the next one, I'll show you how wonky they are and how straight this makes them. So yeah, this is a pretty average sort of example. You can see how it's an F and an E and a half, but it's not straight by any means. Some of them are better, some of them are worse, but they're all wonky. You could use a rawhide mallet and flatten it out. Bench block would be the basic traditional way of doing it, I suppose. So yeah, reducing, whether you do it in one of these or the Italian or the English Durston one, compressing it is now a D and a half. Running it through the compression dial. Is as much about flattening them out and making them straight as making them the right diameter. just over the line. There we go. Leading edgy. So as you can see, it's leading edgy, but it's also leading edgy all the way around. It wasn't an E and a half all the way around. Right, next 6. Flux should be cleaned off from now. Same thing, you can quickly satinize them. I don't ever use the polishing mode, like I don't really, no, I just never polish. I've never actually polished at the bench. The bench might look like I have, but I haven't. I do have a pendant motor here, but I never, like I do have, for a main, if I really need to, I've got a chuck that fits the polishing machine that will the brushes and the polishing bits that go in a drill, like the 2.35mm shanked things. The problem with doing it in the pendant, like my pendant motor is ancient, and the reason I've got an ancient pendant motor is because it's so slow. But even my slow one, how slow is this? 5,000 RPM, and that's a slow one. Like it's historic. You can tell from the serial number, it's from 1974, which I had to buy probably an eBay special. But you can't get, like the slowest one's now like 10,000 RPM. And those polishing wheels are like not supposed to exceed 2,800, if that. And it's very hard to control the speed when you've got 15,000 RPM motor. They just disintegrate. But besides that, it's not the reason I don't use them. I just don't like combining all the polishing stuff with soldering. Ideally, I'd like, if I was gonna do it, you'd have a separate bench for soldering, a separate bench for. I do actually have. I've got this one. I've actually got another 5 plate. I've got a 4 place, and I think I might have. No, I've got a 4 place. I don't. Just need somewhere to put it. But ideally, you'd have setting, soldering, forming, separate bench for everything, ring sizing, live streaming, but we haven't. Right, let me go and satinise these solder joints. we go. Boom. They're nice and clean. And yeah, I'm not talking about using burrs for setting. I do use burrs for setting here. That's what the pen and mat was there for. So cutting metal with metal burrs, I do that here. But the one thing I don't use it for is polishing mops, brushes and polishing compounds. Where I say I don't use, I do use the drill for cutting and setting. Just not polishing. Burnishing, I suppose is polishing, but you know, not with mops and compound. Trying to stretch these up. The ones that need stretching up, I will stretch up. One batch. So I've got the steel one of these. It just works better. This is an aluminium one. It's probably later. I've got a steel version down here, but the dies are not right. eBay special again. The dies I think on this one are from a different. They're not right. The die holder on this is not right either. Boom. They're not. See if we can get this to work. See, look at that. The steel cast iron one runs so much better. It's a lot heavier. There's a lot more weight to it than that aluminium one. At some point I have to build a good one. I've got about 5 of these. 4 at least. The castings of these are identical, flaws and all. They're equally badly made, but these cast iron versions, the earlier ones from the 1800s, I prefer. What I'm going to have to do at some point is take the ram out of that aluminium one and stick it in this steel one. Hopefully. Everything else appears interchangeable. At some point I have to take all the ones I've got and build a perfect one. Then we can put the poopers on eBay. Good as new. That one. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say all these steel ones are the steel versions are cast iron or whatever these are. They're probably pre-1914, and then they probably had to switch. I don't know if they're aluminium. I don't know, when did they start casting aluminium? But presumably in 1914 onwards, they needed metal was hard to get. 1918, there was a lot of scrap they could recycle. today we would have switched to aluminium. It sounds weird, but I think back then as well, that aluminium one, when they first started doing it, but back then aluminium cost more than the steel, so I don't think they switched to aluminium to save money. Just out of necessity. There we go. "12 size E 1mm halo stacking wedding bang rings. Made using our vintage or antique. It's antique now, it's over 100 years old. Pinfold paint and ring sizer. Right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe more of the same. Different size. Different day, different size rings. Doodles.